Good evening, everyone. This is Prophetess Mary Ayodele speaking to you on September 22nd, 2022, on fall equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm going to share the prophetic word of healing with you for the fall of 2022. The first thing we're going to do is review the prophetic word of healing for the entire year of 2022. And then we're going to specifically look at what this season um, reveals for us to really focus on and deal with, okay? Okay, so for a brief review of the prophetic word of healing for 2022, this is a year of deep intentionality, deep targets, and precision in prayer and action. So, this is a year for you to be intentional. Even if you don't know what you want, be intentional about what you like to achieve. That may sound confusing to some people, but for example, some of you all may know that you want a new job, but you're not sure what industry you want to work in. Be intentional about your goals. Your goal is to provide a comfortable and safe environment for your family, to triple your income, things of that nature. That can also be a place of intentionality. So you don't have to have everything figured out. This is not a place to create new anxieties. It's a time to focus in on what you want to achieve. And in this way of discussing achievements, I'm not necessarily only talking about material things. I'm also talking about emotional, mental, and spiritual growth and stability for you and your loved ones. This fall, it's important to set goals to improve your health and to prevent ill health. Monitor your hydration and improve your relationships with others. So, um, that's pretty self explanatory. Improve your health and really focus on prevention. Prevention this fall is really crucial. Monitor your hydration. So, stay well hydrated, particularly with good, clean water, and work toward relationship improvement, specifically with people who you may find it difficult to deal with. I, again, am Prophetess Mary Ayodele, and what I do is seek the face of the Most High to help people on their journey in life. If you'd like to send me a prayer request, you may do so by sending it to prophetessmaryayodele@gmail.com. You may also find me on YouTube at Prophetess Mary Ayodele or at a Facebook group, Prophetic Word of Healing. Given honor to the Most High, who's the head of my life, these are the points that have been revealed. Study to show yourself approved. Apply your mind to deepen your spiritual studies and knowledge of yourself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Please dig in deeper and get to know who you are. Not superficially, just dig in. And whatever you find, know that the Most High loves you. It's not a time for self rebuke, it's a time for understanding and knowing who you are. This is a time to continue journaling. If you are doing that, if not, if you have a devotional commitment where you say every morning you're going to meditate, you're going to pray, or you're reading one of those books where every day there's a devotion for you to read on a daily basis, this is a time to pick that back up. This fall, you want to look at a daily practice. If you stopped one earlier this year, you can pick it up and continue it this fall. It's also a good time to do a short course in self care and spiritual well being. So, if there's a 7-day course or a weekend course that you can take to improve your self care, you want to do that. You want to be firm and clear about the boundaries in your life that are placed there for your own good by the Most High. For those of you who have not heard me speak before, when I say the Most High, that is me referring, excuse me, to the divine intelligence that holds the universe together. Some people say God, others have other names for this force that we acknowledge as a supreme being. I am saying the Most High. If you don't eat it, watch it, or do it, honor those boundaries. They may save your life. So if you know there are certain things you are not to indulge in for whatever reason, don't push those boundaries. Honoring the boundaries that have been placed on your life can be a life preserver this year and this fall. Guard against illnesses that include excess mucus and edema. Regular elimination is paramount for good health. Please take care of your digestive health and make sure that whatever goes in your body comes out of it. So, this is not a time to maintain blockages in your body, or in other areas of your life where you can facilitate a flow. So, your environment may not be totally in your control. Your workplace, your home, there are forces and factors that come about where you may feel stagnant. But when it comes to your physical body, you need to make sure that what comes in it goes out of it. You want to guard against not having regular elimination. You really want that this fall. You want to guard against duplicity in relationships. So don't be in two places at one time. Um, if you are cheating or not faithful in relationships, even if they're not romantic, you want to check yourself. Avoid situations that may cause you to break your vows. So, for those of you who are not duplicitous, you want to avoid situations where you may think about breaking vows. And for the single people, this isn't just romance. So this has to do with business, it has to do with finance, it has to do with volunteer opportunities. So all relationships are not based on romance. We have relationships in our lives that are purely business, and you want to guard against being unfaithful in those relationships as well. Be strong in the face of adversity. Rely on the strength of Adonai. There is no need to fall out in frustration or fear. So you want to maintain your equilibrium. It may seem fashionable to lay out and allow yourself to have tantrums that you don't know how to come back from. And that's what I'm talking about. We all have moments where we may feel that things did not go the way we wanted them to go. And there may be moments where we have to work with how to express that. I'm talking about people who just can't move forward. They just are frozen and paralyzed. I'm asking all of you all to unfreeze yourselves and be strong in the face of adversity. This is the year 2022. We're in a 10-year cycle. We're in year 2 of it, and we're going to face some really interesting times. So there is no crime, no social crime in being a strong-minded person. To be loving and kind and firm. It's okay to be that. You don't have to release your grip on yourself. We are in a 10-year cycle of change beginning in 2020. It's important to pace yourself and to monitor your behavior to deal with what you will face. So, monitor yourself and pace yourself. You don't have to get everything done today or tomorrow. Your to do list can be walked through judiciously and with a great amount of self care. Drink warm plant based drinks this fall and minimize stimulants. Whatever stimulants you're into, you want to minimize that this fall. For those of you who may not really know what I'm talking about when I say fall, fall for our conversation is going to be from fall equinox until winter solstice. So in the northern hemisphere, we're looking at the energies around September 22nd, 2022 until around December 21st. And when I say around, these um, these actions that I'm talking about may linger, until the 24th or 27th of December. So the dates on the calendar do not determine when things begin and end on a cosmic level. Calendars are human made for us to try to track things. The energies are felt by sensitive individuals many times days to weeks in advance of it. All right. Practice giving your concerns to the Most High and following His will. Build a prayer circle within your community. I will have a handout, excuse me, for how to start a prayer circle. And if you want that handout, if you see or hear this on Facebook or YouTube, there will be a link in the comment section that you can click on to get that handout. If you don't see that link or you're hearing this after those two social media sites are gone, because things change, you can write me at prophetessmaryayodele@gmail.com and ask me specifically for that handout. But please do check wherever you find this so you can get that handout if you want it. If you do not want the handout, which is perfectly understandable, the simple instructions for building a prayer circle is you do not need lots of people. You can get more than yourself. That's all you really need. It can be two people, it can be three, it can be 35. What's important is that you all choose a time period and a theme to pray about. So, for example, you can say that, for the month of October, we're going to pray for healing, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and for ourselves and our loved ones, and any names that people bring into your circle. You can organize this on the telephone. You can go low tech, or you can start a website if you want. Um, you can pick, or you could pick a book to read about prayer as a group. And when you get together to talk about that book, you could pray the prayers in that book. There's a lot of ways to do this. So, again, start looking around you and see who you want to pray with. You can do walking prayer where you actually physically get in your body with your prayer circle and walk through a park or around the block or in your backyard. You can um, use physical movement in your prayer. Prayer doesn't always have to be only something you're thinking or saying. You can actually walk it through in your body. So I want to encourage you to build a circle of people that you can bring your concerns to, even if they're not specific. Even if you say, I'd like you to keep my family in prayer, or my workplace in prayer, or my church, synagogue, temple, healing circle, whatever community you're involved in prayer. So you don't have to self disclose each and every detail, but If you're in a community where you feel safe doing that, you can. And you want to start identifying people, even if they don't live near you, that you can include in that circle of prayer. So, again, for more information, write me or click on the link that you'll find underneath this. The other thing I recommend you do for the fall is to review the scripture of the year, which is Psalm 71. Be a great idea for you to read that. And I'm going to take a moment right now and read that for you. Read along with me, or actually, I should say, repeat after me to step into the blessings of this psalm, okay? So repeat after me to step into the blessings of this psalm. This is the psalm of the year for 2022. It's still in effect for the fall, and we will have additional scriptures for the fall. So here's Psalm 71. Excuse me. In thee, Adonai, do we put our trust. Never let us be put to confusion. Deliver us in thy righteousness, and cause us to escape. Incline thine ear unto us, and save us. Be thou our strong habitation, whereunto we may continually resort. Thou hast given commandments to save us, for thou art our rock and our fortress. Deliver us, O Adonai, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous and cruel human beings. For thou art our hope, Adonai. Thou art our trust from our youth. By thee have we been holden up from the womb. Thou art he that took us out of our mother's bowels. Our praises shall continually be of thee. We are as a wonder unto many, but thou art our strong refuge. Let our mouth be filled with thy praise and with thy honor all the day. Cast us not off in the time of old age. Forsake us not when our strength faileth. For our enemies speak against us, and they that lay wait for our soul take counsel together, saying, Adonai hath forsaken them. Persecute and take them, for there is none to deliver them. O Adonai, be not far from us. O Adonai, make haste for our help. Let them be confounded and consumed that are adversaries to our souls. Let them be covered with reproach and dishonor that seek our hurt. But we will hope continually and will yet praise thee more and more. Our mouth shall show forth thy righteousness and thy salvation all the day, for we know not the numbers thereof. We will go in the strength of Adonai. We will make mention of thy righteousness, even of thine only. Adonai, thou hast taught us from our youth. In hitherto have we declared thy wondrous works. For also when we are old and gray-headed, Adonai, forsake us not, until we have shown thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to every one that is to come. Thy righteousness also, Adonai, is very high, who hath done great things. Who is like unto thee? Thou, which have shown us great and sore troubles, shall quicken us again, and shall bring us up again from the depths of the earth. Thou shalt increase our greatness, and comfort us on every side. We will also praise thee with the psalms, even thy truth, Adonai. Until thee will we sing with the harp, O thou Holy One of Israel. Our lips shall greatly rejoice when we sing unto thee, and our souls which thou hast redeemed. Our tongue also shall talk of thy righteousness all the day long, for they are confounded, for they are brought into shame, those that seek our hurt. That concludes Psalm 71. For this fall season, we have 3 scriptures for you to review. The first is Proverbs chapter 27, verse 1 through 2. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 1 through 2. It reads, "Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Yet another person praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips." What does this mean to us, you may say? This fall, we want to step back from self promotion and praising ourselves. We want to walk humbly. Humbleness does not mean self degradement. Humbleness just means allowing your works to speak for themselves. Let your community speak of who you are or not. Maybe they don't even notice what you're doing. What you're doing is not for people to notice. You're doing whatever you're doing, hopefully, for the glory of the divine who created us, right? So don't worry about 5-year plans and 10-year plans. Deal with today. Know that the only time you have is right now because you don't know what tomorrow may bring. And instead of letting that statement maybe push a button, remember we talked about fear. This isn't about fear. This is about recognizing that tomorrow's not promised. Yesterday is gone. All you have is right now. So you make every minute count. How do I plan? You would say, Prophetess Mary. What about my job prospects or the baby I'm going to have in 3 months? Should I not pick a name for this baby? That is not what we're saying. We're saying, don't boast about tomorrow. You put your energy into today and you take the righteous steps to lay a foundation so that by the grace of the Most High, whatever comes your way, you're on firm footing. But you don't brag about what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're going to do when you graduate, what you're going to do when you get this job, what you're going to do when when X, Y, and Z happens. That's not in your hand. What's in your hand is right now. As far as praising yourself, let others praise you and not your own mouth. So this is an opportunity that we could speak words of life into our sisters and brothers and praise their works that uplift themselves, their families, and their communities. This is a time for us to give that energy out as opposed to trying to reflect it all about ourselves. Again, this is not degradement. I know many people are living a linear way of thinking. It's either or. This is not either or. We're saying what to refrain from to step into the blessings of the season. The next verse that we want to look at this fall for direction is 2 Timothy verse 7. 2 Timothy verse 7, and it reads, "For the Most High has not given us a spirit of timidity, but of power and love and self-discipline." I'll read it one more time. "For the Most High has not given us a spirit of timidity, but of power and love and self-discipline." So, this is not a time to be afraid of your own shadow or anybody else's. This is not about being timid. It's about connecting with the cosmic power that exists within us, that created us and that sustains us, and connecting with love and self-discipline. That's what it's about. This kind of power I'm talking about here isn't about making other people do things or trying to force people to do things your way. This isn't about power over. This is about power within. Okay, self-discipline doesn't mean forcing yourself to do anything either. So we want to gently and lovingly hold and embrace ourselves and walk this fall, understanding that true power isn't about subjugation and dominance of others or even the self. It's about connecting with the force that keeps breath in our bodies and keeps us walking and talking and loving and living. It's a different connection to power. And it's a different definition of what power is. not something outside of you that someone tries to use against you or over you. It's something within you that sustains you and connects you to the divine intelligence that put this all together, keeps you in alignment, excuse me, with the Most High. And our next verse for the fall, our third verse, is James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. James chapter 1, verse 2 through 4. It reads, "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect work, so that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. But if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, who gives to all without hesitation and without reproach, and it will be given to them." And you may be thinking, what do I do with that? Okay, yeah, okay, what do I do? And I read a little bit more. I went over there a little bit. Excuse me. So, how do you live that out? What do you do with that? Because I went to verse 5. When you face challenges, know that the challenge won't beat you, because the God you serve is bigger than any challenge that you'll ever face. That's really what that means. If we look at our ancestors, um, I'm speaking as an African American woman in the Northern Hemisphere in the United States of America. They face various trials and they endured. Anyone listening to this has ancestors that endured, because if not, you wouldn't be listening to this. So clearly somebody endured and they made it. So that's the short of it. Whatever you facing, you got to endure it. Didn't mean you could make it magically go away. You got to endure it, and you can overcome that if you keep your eyes on the prize and stay in alignment with the Most High. If you lack the wisdom, that's why I read number 5, verse 5, then you need to ask the Most High. So if you don't know how to endure, you want to talk to the Most High about that, because you can get some support in that. Um, Endurance may not be, excuse this term, sexy. It may not be um, applauded. However, it's what makes the world go round. So if you're looking for public approval of endurance, it might not be there. But that's not the approval you really want to look for this fall or any other time. What you really want to look for is the approval of the Most High and the respect of your community, because the plan and the destiny that the Most High has for you may not be the same one as they have for me. But we need to live in harmony, and we need to live peacefully in community with one another. So remember that, okay? A quick review of the plant of the year. You see an image of it on your screen, and it's called clematis. It's a flower. Well, it has flowers. It's a plant that produces flowers, I ought to say. And the particular one we're looking at this year is a blue one, particularly blue and white, but blue, dark blue leaves. It's used with caution for skin ulcers, water retention, gout, and rheumatism. This does not mean that you go get the flower and eat it. That's not what I'm saying. I would encourage you all to look up this flower and grow it if you can. It is fall. I am in a climate where I can grow flowers in the fall. You might not be in a climate like mine. In that case, look at pictures of it. You could make it your screensaver if you wanted to on your phone or your computer or your tablet. You could even put images of it around you in your house, your home, or office, so you can connect with the energy of this plant without consuming it. I simply put up there what it's used for very cautiously, under the supervision of a healthcare practitioner, a clinical herbalist, because I am a herbalist, and the plants are here for our well being and upliftment. And it's important for what I do to incorporate the plants that have been revealed to me when appropriate to our community so we can reconnect with those plants. If you want to do a little bit more reconnecting with plants in a spiritual framework, you can find the page that I work with on Facebook called Healing Plants of the Bible, Herbs of the Bible, excuse me, Herbs of the Bible on Facebook. And there's also a blog, herbsofthebible.com. So thank you for listening. Share this with your loved ones, um, and anyone you think would benefit from it. As the children say, like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. And I hope to be talking to you soon in our winter prophetic word of healing, which will be released by His grace around winter solstice. Okay? I love you all. Be blessed.